Your coffee cooled beside the window. Half a page was folded down. The book you left on Tuesday evening still hasn't moved around. A silver spoon inside the cup, catching bits of afternoon. Dust keeps dancing in the sunlight, like it knows you'll be here soon. Some things leave without a sound, but stay in every room. There's an empty chair beside me, and I talk to it sometimes, like you're somewhere in the silence between these ordinary lines. The door still opens with the same old bell. The rain still paints the street, and every little thing remembers the afternoons we used to keep. The girl behind the counter asked me if I'd like another drink. I almost said your usual order before I stopped to think. Outside the trees are turning greener. Cars drift slowly through the light. The city's moving like it always does. I'm the one that's standing still tonight. Maybe love is not the leaving. Maybe love is what remains. In the corner of a photograph, or written on a receipt with your name. There's an empty chair beside me, but it doesn't feel alone. Every memory sits quietly, like a bird that's found its home. The evening settles on the table. The sky fades into blue, and somewhere in this little cafe, I'm still sharing coffee with you. The cup grows cold, the daylight fades, the chair stays empty and somehow stays. Rain gathers slowly on the corner of the glass, like a thought that doesn't know where to land. The cafe hums in low voices, coffee machines sigh, and somewhere near the doorway, someone laughs at something I'll never hear. A scarf hangs loosely over the chair beside me, still carrying the scent of last November. Outside, umbrellas bloom and disappear, like brief conversations between strangers. The city never stops, it only changes weather. Rain on the window, drawing crooked lines across the afternoon. as though the sky were trying to remember something. Rain on the window, soft enough to miss if you're not listening, soft enough to sound like you. The barista turns the sign from open to closed, yet nobody seems ready to leave. A bicycle waits beneath the street lamp, shining quietly in the rain. The world feels smaller on evenings like this, as if every road leads back to the same memory. Some days arrive wearing old colors. Rain on the window, tracing silver rivers through the fading light, turning every reflection to a story half remembered. Rain on the window, lingering a little longer than it should, like a song still echoing after it ends. I used to think memories faded the way photographs do, but some remain untouched, protected by weather and certain afternoons. Rain on the window, nothing more than rain, and yet the whole room changes because of it. The tables, the shadows, the silence between songs. Rain on the window, falling without hurry, teaching the evening how to disappear gracefully. The last train passes, the lights grow thin, and the rain keeps writing on the glass. Midnight settles on the tables like a coat nobody claimed. The neon sign outside is flickering softly through the rain. An espresso left untouched beside a dog-eared novel, the same page waiting patiently for someone to turn it. The city grows quieter, one window at a time. Midnight espresso, cooling in a porcelain cup, while the clock above the counter forgets who it's counting for. Midnight espresso, dark and bittersweet, like conversations that never found their ending. The chairs are standing upside down on every table but mine. The barista wipes the empty room and hums along with the radio. A taxi glides through amber light across the wet pavement, leaving behind a ribbon of gold that disappears too soon. Some nights feel longer than the roads that lead home. Midnight espresso, cooling in a porcelain cup, while shadows stretch across the floor like letters never sent. Midnight espresso, holding on to heat long after anyone would expect it to. Maybe every cafe keeps a few forgotten stories hidden between closing time and morning. Maybe that's why I stay. Espresso, the rain has finally stopped. The glass reflects another version of the life I almost chose. Midnight espresso, one last quiet sip before the night folds carefully into tomorrow. The lights go out one by one. The cup is empty. The chair remains. Pressed flower slipped from a novel as I turned a weathered page. Its colors faded into quiet shades, yet somehow still remained. The handwriting in the margin leans gently to the right, like it was written in a hurry to catch the fading light. Funny how a single moment can survive for years. April between pages, sleeping in a book, waiting for an ordinary afternoon to be found again. April between pages, fragile as a breath, holding all the things time forgot to take. Outside the trees are turning green along the riverside. Cyclists pass beneath the branches like scenes I've seen before. The flower rests upon the table beside my cooling tea, and suddenly the room feels full. A voice is missing from it. Some memories don't knock, they simply walk back in. April between pages, folded into years, hidden like a secret no one meant to keep. April between pages, soft as morning light, still carrying the warmth of someone else's spring. The flower should have crumbled long ago, instead it stayed, quietly proving that not everything fades at the same speed. April between pages, resting in my hands. The afternoon grows golden around the window frame. April between pages, pages, nothing more than that. A flower, a book, a forgotten spring, and everything returns. The page closes, the flower remains somewhere inside. The river carries sunlight in long and broken pieces. Children chase their shadows across the bicycle path. A paper cup rolls slowly along the edge of the wind and disappears beneath the bridge without a sound. The afternoon feels endless in the gentlest way. Sunday by the river, watching petals drift away, not holding on, not saying goodbye, just letting them go. Sunday by the river, the water knows the way, past every season, past every story, back to the sea. A dog sleeps near a bench, its leash wrapped around a railing. Someone strums a guitar from somewhere out of sight. The blossoms are almost gone, now only a few remain, turning slowly through the air like unfinished thoughts. Some things leave beautifully, simply because they must. Sunday by the river, watching petals drift away. The current keeps moving without asking permission from anyone. Sunday by the river, the light grows softer now, and every reflection feels borrowed from another year. I used to believe everything worth loving had to stay. Now I wonder if part of loving is learning how to watch something disappear without becoming sad. Sunday by the river, evening settles low. The city begins lighting its windows. One by one, Sunday by the river, nothing has changed, and somehow everything has. The petals are gone, the river remains, and so do I. The bell above the doorway rang softer than I remembered. Dust floated through the sunlight like forgotten constellations. The owner sat behind the counter, reading yesterday's newspaper, as if time had chosen to slow down here. Some places survive by being overlooked. The Last Bookstore the end of the street, holding more stories than its shelves can keep. The last bookstore where silence feels alive, turning every page like opening a window to another life. Inside a faded paperback, a note slipped to the floor, written in blue ink 20 years ago. Meet me here next spring was all it seemed to say. No names, no explanations, just a promise left behind. Strange how a stranger can leave a memory. The last bookstore, smelling faintly of rain, and old conversations that never truly ended. The last bookstore, keeping pieces of time pressed between pages like flowers nobody noticed. Maybe every book is a room someone built, and every sentence a light left on for whoever arrives much later. The last bookstore, closing at 6 tonight. The owner stacks the chairs without much ceremony. The last bookstore, soon to disappear, yet somehow more permanent than the buildings around it. The sign goes dark, the door clicks shut, a page turns somewhere inside. The code had been forgotten at the back of the closet, still carrying the scent of colder years. Its buttons slightly loosened, its collar worn and soft, like something that had waited without complaint. A folded piece of paper slipped quietly to the floor, as though it had been listening for footsteps all this time. Some things don't return until you're ready. Letters in a coat pocket, hidden through the seasons, traveling silently beside old train tickets and loose coins. Letters in a coat pocket, creased by passing years, holding entire winters inside a single page. The ink had faded slightly near the edges of the lines. A coffee stain had settled like a small brown moon. The words were ordinary, nothing grand at all, yet somehow every sentence opened another door. Outside, the evening gathered against the window panes, while somewhere in the distance a church bell crossed the air. Memory never knocks, it finds its own some way in, letters in a coat pocket, sleeping through the years, waiting for a quiet night in an empty room. Letters in a coat pocket, light enough to hold, heavy enough to change an evening completely. I used to think the important things would arrive with certainty. Now I know they often return as folded paper found by accident. Letters in a coat pocket, the handwriting remains, even when the voices have long since disappeared. Letters in a coat pocket, nothing more than words, and yet the room feels different after reading them. The letter folds back into silence. The coat hangs still beside the door, waiting for winter. The evening arrives in lavender, spilling softly across the rooftops. Window by window, the city begins, lighting its small constellations. A bicycle leans against a brick wall near a cafe, preparing to close. Someone gathers chairs from the sidewalk as the air turns cooler. The day leaves quietly without asking to be remembered. Lavender evening, resting on the streets, like a song too gentle to belong to anyone. Lavender evening, floating through the trees, turning ordinary moments into something golden for a while. The florist carries flowers inside before the night arrives. Their colors blur together beneath the fading sky. A train moves slowly beyond the river, its windows glowing like pages still being written somewhere far away. Every light contains a story we will never know. Lavender evening, lingering in the air, between the last conversation, the first star. Lavender evening, soft against the world, making even empty streets feel inhabited by wonder. There was a time I searched for meaning in distant places. Now I find it in streetlights, in open windows, in the color of the sky before night. Lavender evening settles on my shoulders like an old familiar coat, returning for another season. Lavender evening, nothing has to stay, yet everything feels exactly where it belongs. The sky grows darker, the lights grow warm, and somewhere a piano continues beyond the night. (5:30), the elevator sighed, carrying another day down to the street. A row of office windows turns from gold to gray, like chapters closing one by one. The traffic lights begin their evening conversation, red to green, green to yellow, without ever growing tired. Everyone is heading somewhere, and for once I don't mind staying behind. 5:30, the city loosens its tide and lets the daylight slip from its shoulders. 5:30, a beautiful in-between, not quite evening, not quite yesterday, just enough light to walk a little slower. A bakery locks its front door, leaving warmth inside. Someone waters flowers on a narrow balcony. A train arrives, breathing softly at the station, its windows glowing against the cooling air. A newspaper tumbles across the pavement like it has nowhere important to be. Some moments matter because nobody notices them. 5:30, the streets begin to exhale. The rush dissolves into scattered footsteps. 5:30, the hour between worlds, where office towers become silhouettes, and the sky remembers its evening colors. I spent years waiting for extraordinary things to happen, and almost missed how beautiful an ordinary Tuesday could be. 5:30, the first stars hesitate above the rooftops. The river catches the last pieces of sunlight. 5:30, nothing has to stay, nothing has to leave, and somehow that feels enough. The day folds neatly into the evening, like a letter placed back, into its envelope. A cardboard box beneath the stairs, covered in a coat of dust, held 100 afternoons, folded neatly into years. The corners of the photographs curled softly toward the light, like they had spent decades trying to remember. Funny how paper survives what memory forgets. Old photographs fading at the edges, but never where it matters. Old photographs keeping little pieces of voices, of seasons, of ordinary days nobody thought to save. A bicycle beside a river, a summer shirt, a borrowed hat, someone waving from a porch without knowing they'd become a memory. A dog asleep beneath the table, a train waiting at a station, a sky too wide for the frame to hold. Every picture tells the truth and leaves something out. Old photographs, quiet as snowfall, yet capable of filling an entire room. Old photographs holding still while the rest of life continues moving around them. The strange thing isn't how much has changed, it's how familiar everything still feels. The same smile, the same sunlight, the same afternoon, waiting inside the image. Old photographs scattered on the floor, like windows opening to forgotten years. Old photographs, nothing more than paper, and somehow more powerful than time. The box closes, the dust settles, the evening remains a little longer. The rain had left the sidewalk shining like polished stone and silver light. Puddles gathered pieces of sky between the cracks of evening. A sheet of paper from an old notebook folded into simple wings. Nothing more than careful corners and a little patience. Some journeys begin without a destination. paper boat floating through the twilight, carrying words I never learned to say. Paper boat following the current, past the bridges, past the streetlights, into the fading blue. The water moved without hurry beneath the sleeping trees. A single leaf drifted beside it for a while, then disappeared. The city watched from a distance, reflected in the river, broken into pieces by the smallest waves. Not everything lost needs to be found. Paper boat dancing with reflections between the colors of day and night. Paper boat, light enough to wander, strong enough to keep going until the river decides. When I was younger, I thought every feeling needed an answer. Now I think some belong to the water, some belong to the wind, and some simply belong to time. A paper boat, almost out of sight now, a small white shape against the evening. Paper boat, taking nothing from me except the weight of holding on too tightly. The river keeps moving, the sky grows dark. The paper boat becomes a memory before it disappears. The cafe fills with fragments of lives I do not know. A woman speaks of Paris across a wooden table. Someone laughs too loudly near the window by the street. A couple studies menus as if choosing futures. Words travel easily until they matter. Quiet conversations hidden underneath the noise, between the coffee cups and the clatter of the evening. Quiet conversations never reaching the air, living in the pauses people leave behind. The barista wipes the counter in slow familiar circles. A student marks a sentence 3 times in the same book. Outside the traffic drifts like a distant river, carrying thousands of stories toward places unseen. Sometimes silence says exactly enough. Quiet conversations reaches. It's the unfinished sentence, the glance toward the door, the hand around a warm cup, the moment before leaving that stays. Quiet conversations resting in the room, long after the chairs have been stacked away. Quiet conversations still floating somewhere between the last song and the closing bell. The lights grow dim, the voices fade, the silence remains. Listening. The cafe smells of cinnamon and rain-damp coats outside. The maple trees are giving up their colors. A record turns slowly near the back wall, its melody worn smooth by countless afternoons. The window gathers reflections of passing umbrellas, blending strangers into the fading street. October always seems to arrive quietly. Autumn cafe, where the daylight lingers a little longer on the wooden floor. Autumn cafe, holding every season like pages resting inside the same book. A newspaper lies folded beside an empty cup. Someone has underlined a sentence in blue ink. The steam rises gently from a second coffee, drawing temporary shapes that disappear before naming themselves. Outside, leaves cross the pavement like small letters carried by the wind. Some days ask for nothing except attention. Autumn cafe, the record keeps spinning, the room keeps breathing in its own slow rhythm. Autumn cafe, where nothing remarkable happens, and somehow that becomes the beauty. I remember the river, the bookstore, the paper boat, the lavender sky, not as separate moments, but as one long season, still unfolding inside me. Autumn cafe, the afternoon grows amber, the city softens beyond the glass. Autumn cafe, a place between chapters where endings and beginnings share the same table. cup grows light, a leaf touches the window and moves on. The chair across from mine, it's been a long time empty, collecting afternoon light and quiet observations. The waitress used to leave only one menu on the table, without asking, without thinking twice. Outside, the traffic crossed the river like it always had, unaware that anything was changing. Some arrivals are almost invisible. A table for two, nothing extraordinary, just another cup beside my own. A table for two, the simplest kind of miracle, making room without asking anything in return. The rain taps softly against the window while conversation wandered without a destination. From favorite books to distant train stations to the names of streets neither of us could pronounce. The coffee grew cold more than once because neither of us remembered to drink it. The best moments rarely announce themselves. A table for two beneath familiar lights, the same cafe, the same music, the same evening. A table for two, and suddenly the room feels larger than before. Sunlight breaking clouds or a door opening wide. Instead, it arrived quietly as another chair being occupied. A table for two. The city outside keeps moving, the river keeps flowing, the seasons keep turning. A table for two, nothing has been replaced. The old memories remain. They've simply made space for something new. Two empty cups, a fading song. The lights grow warm and evening settles in. First snow arrived unnoticed, somewhere between two songs. One moment there was only darkness, the next the city had become quieter. White shapes drifted slowly past the window glass. softening every outline. They touch the streetlights like small pieces of silence falling from the sky. The room grows warmer as the world turns white. Snow outside, drifting through the evening, covering the rooftops one by one. Snow outside, nothing needs explaining. Some nights are beautiful enough on their own. The coffee sends a ribbon of steam into the light. The record player hums softly near the back wall. A bus moves through the snowfall, leaving golden tracks that vanish almost instantly into the night. Across the table, a smile appears and disappears, like a reflection on water. Not every silence needs to be filled. Snow outside, turning traffic into whispers, turning distance into something gentle. Snow outside, the city slows its heartbeat and listens to itself for a while. There was a time I feared quiet places. Now I understand. Some feelings arrive without words, without warning, and ask only to be shared. Snow outside, the windows gather silver. The cafe glows like a lantern against the cold. Snow outside, the night keeps falling, the snow keeps falling, and neither seems in any hurry. The last song ends, the snow continues beyond the glass. Morning settles on the window in pale and careful colors. The street is still deciding whether to wake or dream. A bicycle waits beneath the frost near the corner bakery, while sunlight stretches slowly across the wooden floor. The kettle starts singing somewhere behind the counter, and the day unfolds without hurry. There are mornings that ask for nothing more. Winter light falling through the window, turning dust into diamonds for a little while. Winter light resting on the table, making ordinary things appear extraordinary. paper remains unopened beside a cooling cup. Outside, footprints cross the snow toward places unknown. The radio plays softly from another room, a melody familiar enough to feel like company. The city breathes beneath the cold, steady as ever. Some happiness arrives without announcing itself. Winter light gathering on the pages of a book left waiting since yesterday. Winter light touching every corner without choosing what deserves its warmth. I spent so long looking beyond the horizon, searching for something just out of reach. Then one quiet morning, the answer arrived as sunlight across a table. Winter light, nothing lasts forever. The snow will melt, the season will change. Winter light, and maybe that's the reason it feels so precious while it's here. Winter light filling up the room without a sound, without a promise, without a reason except to shine. The morning grows brighter, the coffee grows warm, and the day begins. The station wears its midnight colors, blue and silver in the cold. A handful of tired travelers stand beneath the glowing signs. The train arrives like a memory from somewhere far away, its windows carrying fragments of unfinished days. Every journey changes long before it ends. Homebound train, moving through the darkness, past sleeping towns and silent rivers. Homebound train, 1,000 lights appearing, then disappearing like years, seen from a distance. The glass reflects the carriage and the night beyond, layering two worlds together for a moment. A woman closes her book near the opposite seat. A child sleeps against a shoulder, dreaming through the miles. Telephone wires cross the sky like lines of unwritten poetry, stretching toward the horizon without explanation. Not every answer needs a destination. Homebound places I no longer need to name. Homebound train, carrying every season without asking which one mattered most. I remember the empty chair, the river, the bookstore, the paper boat, the falling snow. Not as separate stories, but as one long road leading here. Homebound train, the city grows nearer, window by window, light by light. Homebound train, nothing left unfinished, nothing left behind, only the quiet rhythm of returning. The brakes slow gently, the doors open, and somewhere ahead a light is waiting. The chairs are resting upside down upon the wooden tables. The floor remembers footsteps, the way rivers remember rain. Outside, the streetlights bloom along familiar roads, painting amber circles across the pavement. The clock above the counter moves without ceremony toward another closing time. Everything ends quietly if you stay long enough. Last light at the cafe, falling across the room like the final page of a well-loved novel. Last light at the cafe, nothing asks to stay. The evening simply gathers and carries itself away. A forgotten receipt sleeps beneath a chair. A pressed flower waits inside an unread book. The window holds reflections of passing headlights, turning the glass into a moving photograph. For a moment I can see every season at once. The story never vanished, it only kept changing. Last light at the cafe, where winter met the spring, where letters met old photographs and rivers met the rain. Last light at the cafe, holding all the years inside a single room before releasing them again. The empty chair, the paper boat, the bookstore, the falling snow, the lavender evening, the homebound train. Every road, every memory arrived here together. Last light at the cafe, the music fades to silence. The door unlocks, the night patiently. Last night at the cafe, nothing has been lost. The moments remain in different forms than before. Last night at the cafe, one final glance behind. The room grows smaller, the world grows wide. And somewhere beyond the window, another story begins. The bell above the door sings once, the light goes out.